Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So the undisputed king, Jamel Charlo, undisputed world champion of the 154-pound division, came out today, man, and let the people see his face, let the people hear his voice for the first time in a long time. He did a live on social media, I believe. Saw it posted on a couple of different platforms, but I also saw his upcoming opponent for January 28th, Undisputed Showdown. Jamel Charlo will be defending all of his titles versus his mandatory challenger, Tim Tszyu, who had been in line for this position for the last couple of fights. And, Tim Tszyu, he did a couple of interviews, and, he's actually making his way over here to America. And, so he can get ready to, number one, get acclimated to being over here and just get prepared to get in there with the monster that is Jamel Charlo. You dig what I'm saying? So, Jamel came out, man. He just, he put everybody on notice. You feel what I'm saying? He put everybody on notice. He put any opposition on notice. Anybody in and around his division on notice. Let motherfuckers know that I'm not to be played with, and you might not see my face, all the time. You might not hear me talking all the time. And I really, quite frankly, I ain't got nothing to say to y'all because I'm undisputed right now. I'm the champion. And I'm locked in. Just because you ain't seen my face and you ain't heard nothing from me for a while, just know that I'm still locked in. He put everybody on notice, man. He like, look, 154, this my division. I run this shit, and that go for anybody. You dig what I'm saying? And he said, I don't know how many fights I got left, but I'm in for the long haul. I'm in to get this shit, get it popping, defend my titles, knock off all comers, whoever want that smoke. That's how Jamel Charlo talking right now. And this is why I have Jamel Charlo right now ranked as my number one pound-for-pound fighter in the sport of boxing. This guy don't turn down no smoke. You feel what I'm saying? He take on all fades. When he get in the ring, he perform like it's his last fight for the most part. He had that first fight versus Castano where I thought he gave a lackluster effort. Had some mental lapse. But you seen how he came back in that rematch, just like he did versus Tony Harrison, and he went out there and laid it all on the line, put it all together. Jamel Charlo, in my opinion, is undoubtedly, when he puts it all together like he did versus Brian Castano in that rematch, he's undoubtedly one of the top 5 best fighters on the planet. One of the top 5 most dangerous fighters on the planet. You know what I'm saying? This dude can box. He can bang with you. Got athleticism, boxing ability, got a good jab. Very intelligent fighter when he want to be. And he's coachable. And I like how he made those adjustments in the second fight and actually listened to Coach Derrick James, who I peg as the best, the most, intelligent boxing mind in the sport of boxing right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as trainers go. So he has everything going for him. And, he just got on live, man, and let the people know, hey, yeah, I've been quiet. I've been chilling, laying low. But fight coming up on January 28th, Undisputed Showdown. This guy, Tim Tszyu, undefeated. This would be another undefeated guy that Jamel Charlo would have to knock off. You know what I'm saying? This guy, a lot of people say, man, he going to be the one to beat Jamel Charlo. A lot of people done line this dude up. He the son of Kasa Tszyu, a legendary fighter from Australia. So they lining this dude up, man, and saying that he got what it takes to beat Jamel Charlo. And, Jamel Charlo's motto, is lines only. Mr. Keep running your mouth. I told y'all, just like he said when he went up against Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? He said, look, I was quiet the whole time, but y'all prop this dude up, and I'm going to be the one to knock him off. Just like he do everybody else. Mr. Keep running your mouth. He also spoke on Terence Crawford, running his mouth. Just like, Terence Crawford and these, I don't call them Terence Crawford fans. These, I guess you call them super fans. Some people call them fanboys. Some people call them bud buddies. Whatever you want to call them, you know what I'm saying? Jamel Charlo let him know. He said, hey, man, keep running your mouth. You know what I'm saying? But he spoke on Terence Crawford turning down the Errol Spence fight and ducking out of the negotiations. Terence Crawford keeps doing interview after interview after interview, and it gets worse every time. And he's just exposing the fact that he was in talks with BLK Prime that whole time, man, and he had other plans. He didn't really want that smoke with Errol Spence for whatever reason. I'm not saying Terence Crawford is scared, because I think Terence Crawford is a great fighter. And I think, when it comes down to it, I think he'll get in the ring with Errol, man. But I know, he looking for that guaranteed money, because he know this the biggest risk of his life. And he know that everything on the line with this. He don't want to risk getting his ass whooped and beat brutally. That's one thing. And then even more important than that, he don't want to risk losing and getting that L without getting compensated heavily for it. And I get it. It's a business decision. That's why you take $10 million. We don't even know if he really getting $10 million to fight Amnesia, but you take what they saying he getting $10 million to fight this guy. High reward, low risk. That's a business decision. You dig what I'm saying? So, Terence Crawford say he already in the Hall of Fame without fighting Errol Spence. He said he don't need to fight Errol Spence. He already in the Hall of Fame. So imagine what an L would do to his mental, his psyche, his fan base, his legacy. In my opinion, I still think he'll be a great fighter. But in Terence Crawford's mind, he thinking like, shit, if I get in there with Earl, man, I get my ass whooped, man, they gonna have to pay me a big ass bag for it. Cause look, I'm gonna have that L. I can't claim all this shit that I've been claiming. I'm the biggest, the baddest, and all that, cause motherfuckers gonna know the truth, which is Errol Spence Jr. Pun intended. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, Jamel Charlo, he letting it be known that he's working, he in the gym, he's focused, never out of shape. He was there with his secondary trainer, Juan Guzman. You know what I'm saying? And he's there at his house. Of course, he got the boxing gym, big house, big piece of land out here in Texas. You know what I'm saying? And got the boxing gym there, got everything. The man don't have to leave his house. He got everything at the crib. Bring his coach to the crib. They can work on some shit. You know what I'm saying? And he letting everybody know, man, I'm locked in. I'm locked in, and I'm about my business, and ain't none of you motherfuckers gonna be able to see me. So I'm excited about Jamel Charlo getting back in the ring. I hate that he only had the one fight this year, and your next fight is scheduled for the next year. So we had to wait until 2023 to see this guy back in the ring, man. January 28th versus Tim Tszyu, undefeated fighter who is the mandatory. If Jermell Charlo gets past him, I believe Sebastian Fundora is supposed to be up next, and who knows after that. So it's a lot of good competition, a lot of good possible opponents for Jamel Charlo in the near future. And I'm excited to see what he does with these titles, because you don't see a lot of fighters willingly defend all 4 world titles once they become undisputed. 9 times out of 10, that guy either drops a belt or 2, maybe because of the sanctioning fees, maybe because of the demands and the mandatories not being able to pick and choose who you want to fight and wanting to have that luxury of picking these guys. Well, Jamel Charlo, he ain't moving like that. He said, look, man, I want to defend my shit. I done worked hard to get to this point to become the undisputed world champion. I'm going to defend my shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to just let one of these belts just drop like that or just get out. If you want these belts, you're going to have to beat me for it until I move up to another division. And that's just how it's going to be. So I love to see that, because you don't see fighters do that often. I think, it raised the stakes, especially in male boxing. You see it in women's boxing more often. But that's because they have to do that in women's boxing, because without them titles, you know what I'm saying, it ain't no type of real attraction. And shout out to Clarissa Shields and Amanda Serrano and what's shorty name? You know what I'm saying? The Estrada, you feel me? Sinisa Estrada. All of these, Katie Taylor, shout out to them for making, big fights and doing their thing, because they really raising the level of attraction for women's boxing. But if you notice that in women's boxing, every big fight, it's undisputed. Like Clarissa Shields has become undisputed 3 times over in 3 different weight classes. Who the fuck has ever done that? Nobody. She's the first ever, man or woman. You feel what I'm saying? So you see that more commonly in women's boxing because in order for them to build up a big fight, it gotta damn near be for all the titles. In men's boxing, you don't see that often. These guys, they dip out of these championships if they are able to even achieve undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Or even a unification. They don't hold these titles for long. So Jamel Charlo is really setting a new standard by saying, look, I'm going to defend my shit. You feel me? And I think that raises stakes. It raises a certain level of intensity because imagine you only got to beat one guy to become undisputed history. So you know a motherfucker gonna bring their best every time. Jamel Charlo can't slip because he know his opposition, they bringing their very best every time because with one win, they whole life change. You dig what I'm saying? So I love the fact that Jamel Charlo, even as a champion, achieving his biggest dreams of being undisputed, you know, being rich and famous and a millionaire and just being a star in the sport of boxing, even after achieving all that, he's still continuing to challenge himself by staying undisputed and defending these titles and, you know, just taking on these challenges because I'm telling you, bro, boys gonna be bringing their best smoke every time they get in the ring with Jamel Charlo. And in order for him to win, he gonna have to rise to the occasion every time. So y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. If y'all saw, you know, the live from Jamel Charlo, he was just vibing. He was just chilling. He didn't say too much crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? But he just really letting everybody know, like, bro, you ain't seen me in a while. In the sport of boxing, been kind of low-key boring without the Charlo twins, without them kicking up dust, you know what I'm saying, and talking they shit. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, he's just letting everybody know you might not have seen me in a while, but I'm locked in. I'm focused. And I think we going to see another level of Jamel Charlo on January 28th. So y'all let me know what y'all think about the matchup and, you know, what y'all feel about this fight going forward. We'll continue to break it down as we get closer, man. Contender regime boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.